Gianni Infantino stood at a podium not long ago and said this World Cup would feel like 1,000 years of World Cups at once. 1,000 years, the greatest tournament ever staged, the most anticipated sporting event in human history. Those were the words FIFA's president chose to describe the 2026 edition. 48 nations, 104 matches, 3 countries, 16 cities, and a final at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey on the 19th of July. That was the promise. Here is the reality. 80% of hotels across major American host cities are currently reporting bookings below expectations. Not slightly below, significantly below. In cities like Boston, Philadelphia, Seattle, Houston, and San Francisco, cities that were supposed to be transformed by this tournament, booking pace is trailing behind a typical summer season, a regular summer without a World Cup. Hotels that had held rooms at premium rates for 2 years, that had structured their entire summer business model around a once-in-a-generation flood of international visitors, are now describing the 2026 FIFA World Cup as a non-event. That phrase, non-event, came from hotel operators in multiple American cities speaking to the American Hotel and Lodging Association. It is perhaps the most devastating 2 words that have ever been attached to a World Cup before it began. Newsweek this week published a formal analysis of where this tournament stands 26 days from kickoff. The headline called it a colossal dud. Not a fringe football blog, not a critical fan account. Newsweek, one of the most widely read publications in the United States, using those 2 words about the biggest sporting event on the planet. So what actually happened? How did a tournament that had everything, the scale, the venues, the talent, the global audience, arrive at this moment? It starts with the tickets, because the tickets are where this story began to go wrong, and they're still where the most visible signs of the problem live. FIFA introduced dynamic pricing to the World Cup for the first time in 2026, prices that shift in real time based on demand. The same logic airlines use, the same system concert promoters use. And the prices they set were extraordinary by any previous measure. The cheapest seats at this tournament are, according to analysis by The Guardian, around 6 times more expensive than the average across the 5 World Cups between 2006 and 2022. 6 times. The result was a ticket market that priced out a significant portion of the international fans who were supposed to fill those stadiums. And now, 26 days from the opening match, that market is telling its own story. According to ticket data, resale prices for more than 90% of all World Cup matches are falling. The average cheapest seat has dropped 24% in a single month, from around $720 to approximately $560 now. A self-reinforcing cycle has taken hold. Nobody's buying because prices are going down, and because nobody's buying, prices keep going down. That cycle hasn't found a floor yet. The United States opening match against Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, America's first home World Cup game since 1994, the match that should have sold out within minutes, still has unsold seats, 26 days out. The cheapest available option is still over $1,000, and even then, buyers aren't showing up. Think about what that means for the atmosphere inside that ground on the 12th of June. The sections that should be loudest, the American fans who should have been in those seats for years, the noise that a home World Cup opener should produce. It won't be what it could have been. And the hotels confirmed the same story from a different angle. The Hotel Association of New York City told Newsweek directly that they expected an additional 1.2 million international visitors tied to the World Cup. What they're actually seeing is bookings up to a maximum of 10% year-on-year. Close to half of New York's hotels have seen no World Cup-related bookings at all. The city's hotel industry now expects to miss more than $100 million in anticipated revenue from this tournament. FIFA made the situation worse in March when it canceled thousands of hotel rooms it had been holding across all 16 host cities, rooms that hotel operators had planned around for 2 years. When those blocks were released back to the market suddenly, it flooded already soft demand with fresh inventory. Prices in some markets dropped by as much as 40% almost overnight. Hotels that had been holding out for high-paying international guests suddenly found themselves competing for domestic day trippers at half the rate they'd planned for. Now, here's the thing that makes this more than just a financial story. Because the money matters to hotels and to FIFA's projections, but what it represents for the football experience is something more fundamental. A World Cup without the world in the stands isn't quite the World Cup. The international fans who generate the atmosphere that makes these matches unforgettable, the Brazilian section, the English supporters behind the goal, the Senegalese fans who've traveled for 4 days to be there, they are not arriving in the numbers that were planned for. European airline reservations to the United States for July are down 14% year on year. Bookings from Asia for the tournament period are running more than 3% below last year. And some of the fans who would have made the loudest noise in those stadiums, supporters from countries affected by travel restrictions, face barriers that no amount of last-minute price reductions can remove. The irony running through all of this is significant. FIFA priced the tickets as high as the market would bear, arguing that the North American entertainment economy operates at these levels and that demand was unprecedented. Then the market told them it wasn't. Then FIFA canceled hotel blocks and flooded the market with inventory. Then the market softened further. And now, 26 days from the biggest World Cup in history, the question hanging over the tournament isn't who will win the final. It's whether enough people will show up to make it feel like the thing it was always supposed to be. What football has always understood, what every fan who has stood in a stadium and felt it knows instinctively, is that the sport is not separate from its atmosphere. The football and the noise exist together. One feeds the other. The greatest World Cup moments in history weren't great in isolation. They were great because of the people in the stands, the tension they created, the collective experience that no television broadcast can fully replicate. That experience, the one that makes watching a World Cup live different from watching it at home, is what's at risk in 2026. Not the matches themselves. The matches will happen. The goals will be scored. Someone will lift that trophy in New Jersey on the 19th of July with genuine joy. But the version of the world in those American stadiums may be quieter, smaller, and less representative than the world that was promised when this tournament was awarded in 2018. Could things still turn around? Yes, major sporting events have recovered from slow buildups before. If the football in the first week is extraordinary, and with the talent assembled across these 48 nations, it could be, attention shifts, tickets move, people who were waiting decide the wait is over. It has happened before. But the data as it stands today, with 26 days to go, is not the data of a tournament that is going to be remembered the way FIFA said it would be remembered. It is the data of a tournament that overreached, misjudged the market it was entering, and is now watching the gap between its ambitions and its reality narrow in the wrong direction. 1,000 years of World Cups at once, that was the promise. What actually arrives on the 11th of June at the Azteca will be something. Whether it is what was promised is a question the next 26 days will begin to answer, and the football itself, as it always does, will have the final word. What do you think? Can the football rescue this tournament from its own off-pitch problems? Or has too much already gone wrong before kickoff? Leave it in the comments. This is one of the most important conversations in football right now. If this kind of honest football journalism is what you come here for, a like and a subscribe means a great deal. See you in the next one.